It's August. Your garden is overgrown. It is way too hot to be outside, but you know in the back of your mind that this is when you should be planning and starting your fall garden. And that sounds incredibly overwhelming. And I feel that in my soul, you guys. My fall garden is my weakest point for a reason. So I decided to fix that problem for me and for everybody else. And I think the biggest roadblock for me is the planning part. When you're so overwhelmed with everything you're doing in the summer, even just thinking about all of that work in front of you, it feels kind of impossible and it often gets left undone. So I built an app to do all of that thinking for you. It's called the Garden Almanac. It's free and I'm going to walk you through it right now, including the one feature that I wish I had at the very start of my gardening journey. The thing about gardening advice is it's all pretty generic. It's like, plant this 6 weeks after your first frost, and then you have to go and look up when is your first frost, or maybe you even have to think about like what do they even mean, especially if you're new to gardening. And then there's all of these plant this in August, plant this in June videos, and that's not going to be applicable to every single person because everybody has different climates. So how do I, as a gardener, give you advice that is going to be really specific and actionable today for you? That is where the Garden Almanac comes in. All it needs is your general location and what you have planted in your garden or what you are planning to plant in your garden. And then it will give you a list of tasks that you can do today, this week, next week. It's telling you exactly what needs to be done, so you don't have to think about it. Again, these are not going to be generic, this is what you do in the week of August kind of tasks. These are very specific to you, to your climate, and to your weather. For example, last week when we had a dry spell, the app was reminding me to water my tomatoes because of the dry spell, and stuff like that is so helpful. And right now, because I'm planning my fall garden, it's telling me that I'm in the sowing window for carrots, for lettuce, and for kale. And even though I do know how to look this up, how to figure it out myself, even I really like not having to think about it. I get to just open the app and be like, okay, well, now's the time to do this. And it takes such a mental load off of me. And it gets even more specific than that. Inside these tasks, you will find advice that I've written for you to help you along the way. So that's the core feature, but there's actually so much more to it than that. When I was writing my garden planner, something that was very important for me to include was a space for guided reflection. How many times has something gone wrong in your garden during the year and you're like, I need to do this differently next year. And then next year rolls around and you've completely forgotten. This happened to me more times than I can count, and it's honestly kind of embarrassing. So I put that in the planner and I wanted to bring that feature from the planner into the app. So inside the app, you'll find a section dedicated to logging your lessons, and that way you can put something down in the moment. You don't have to go get your pen and your paper. It's on your phone, which is probably already on you when you're in the garden. And then on top of that, the app next year, say you log a lesson about tomatoes. When you're going to plant tomatoes next year, the app will remind you of what you've learned so that you are never forgetting all of those important lessons that the garden teaches us. The third feature that I want to highlight is the dream section. This is where you are going to be planning your garden, and this actually fills in a lot of the stuff that I have you do in the garden planner. I think one of the things that's hardest when you're planning a garden, and probably where a lot of people get stuck and drop off, is taking the time to look at every single thing that they want to grow and figure out when does it need to get planted, or does it need to be transplanted, and then when is it going to be harvestable, and do I even have enough days in my season to grow this thing, and all of that. It's just a lot. And so the dream section just takes care of that for you. You tell it what you think you might want to plant, and it fills in everything. So for example, I've told it that I'm planning on planting carrots and lettuce and peas. And so all of that information is feeding into the tasks, right? I told you it's telling me that I'm in the sowing window for those things right now. And so after I've planned, okay, these are the things I want to do, I don't have to think about it again until the app reminds me, hey, this is the timing for this, and this is what you need to be doing this week. Another thing that I think new gardeners really struggle with is, okay, I've planted this thing, but how do I harvest it? How do I know when it's ready? And what do I do? Do I cut it? Do I pull it? And so these sorts of things I answer for you inside the task where it's telling you that it is harvest time. So the app takes care of telling you when, and then I've filled in the how. So like I said, this app is free to download. You get the daily tasks, you get the lessons, but there is a premium upgrade, and this includes the dream section. It also includes a really fun feature, which is the custom crop feature. And this is going to allow you to kind of expand past what the app is capable of. Of course, we're trying to put in as many crops as possible, but we can't possibly cover everything, right? And so we wanted to give you the option of inputting custom crops so the app can then remind you of that stuff. So you think about it once, you input it, and then the app is just taking care of it the rest of the time. So you can download the app today. The link is in the description below. I am so excited for you to get it into your hands. Like I said, it is free to download. It takes almost no time to set up. And I would really love to hear from you once you've got it downloaded, what your app is telling you to do in your garden today. Be sure to leave me a comment down below once you've got it downloaded, and I would honestly love to hear from you about any additional features that you want. This is only version 1 of the app, and I plan on working on it, improving it over the years. One small caveat, it is iPhone only right now, and I'm so sorry for that, but if it does well as an iPhone app, then of course we will be expanding to Android. And if you are an Android user who really wants to have the app, please also leave that in the comments below. I need this data to determine when the investment is going to be worth it for me to go ahead and expand into Android. Thank you guys so much for your support. I am so excited to give this app to you guys, and I will see you next time. But until then, I wish you very happy gardening.